Recording in progress.
Hi, everybody. Welcome back to the channel. We're here going to do our market report for the month. We're going back to August 2024. We're going to go through those numbers and see where the market is at this point right here. And as always, I'm your host, Chris McMahon, local real estate agent here in the capital region. So if you're looking to buy, sell, purchase investment property, even commercial, anything like that, feel free to reach out to me with any questions that you might have. My information is in the description below. Call, text, email, whatever works best for you. So reach out, get a hold of me. Be more than happy to have that conversation with you. And as I go through this, we cover, a decent amount of the areas, but obviously it's capital region is a big area. Can't hit every single spot. We just don't have the time in this video, but there's an area I didn't talk about and you want more information on, reach out, get a hold of me. I can do your own personal video, send it right over to you, get the numbers and the facts that you need so that you're educated on your purchase. But we are talking about residential property here, single family properties. We're going to go through the market. I'm going to share my screen. We're going to pull up this facts and stats, and we're going to go through everything here really quick. So let me pull up what we got right here. So we're going through in this first section right here. For those of you, it's your first time, subscribe to the channel so you're not missing any of these updated videos or any of the other videos I do for real estate about the capital region. We do a ton of stuff. But the first thing we do is I kind of go over the capital region as a whole, and then I break it down into some parts here. So the first thing we're going to go through is we got our numbers listings. So right up here, we got active listings is at 2,663, which is just about on par from what it was the previous month. So it has stayed level, slight drop, but not that much right there. So we're saying about active here. So new listings is another thing that's important. This has kind of gone down a little bit as well, but not that much. Again, it stayed fairly even. It was 1357 back in the previous. Now it's 1334. So just a slight drop in that as for the actives. Coming over here, we're going to look at the list prices. Now, the blue line right here, this is the average sales price. The red line is the median sales price. So the average sales price went up to 386,000 for the capital region. And the previous month of July, it was 382,000. So up just a little bit, about 4,000. But as we're seeing, the median took a little bit of a dive here. So it was at 335 for the month of July, and it kind of gone down in the month of August, 320. So we're seeing a drop of about $15,000 in the median sales price on that one. Absorption rate. This is a number that we pay pretty close attention to here. It's got some good information for us because it kind of tells us a little bit about the inventory and what we got going on. So the absorption rate for the month of July was at over 2.5 months, and it has dropped down slightly, not much, because it was 2.69, and now it's down to 2.65. So we're seeing it come down slightly, but not much of a change to really kind of see like a huge difference in that as far as the inventory we've got out there. And we're seeing a trend over here in the list to sold ratio. So it's down second month in a row. We had a long trend here starting back in February of it going up. All right, so now we kind of hit that peak in June, and it seems to be coming down a little bit, correcting as we say. So it was 101%. So people were listing it, they were getting a little bit more than what they were actually listing it for. 2 months later, we're seeing it just about 100, just a hair over at 100.3%. So getting about what their asking price or the listing price is. Days on the market has dropped. We had a kind of came steadily down from April, bump back up for the month of July, but now we're seeing it kind of come back down again. So it's at about a little over 3 weeks for the average days on the market at 24 days. And as we come down here, as we all know, one of my favorite things to do is to see what price ranges where most of the action taking place in the capital region. So let's kind of come down here and see what we got here. As far as the biggest action, we got right here that 300 to 400 range, 222 sales. So that's in that $100,000 range. But right here, they break it down into 50,000 increments up to 300,000. So you kind of have to look at these two numbers together. We're looking at what, 280 almost. So the biggest sales area is between that 2 and 300 in the capital region right now, followed by that 3 to 400 range. And then we got the 4 to 500 range. We got 154, still a pretty decent number of sales. And that 500 plus is at over 200 sales for the month of August. right there. But right now, the biggest thing to remember is that 2 to 300 range is where the majority of those real estate transactions have taken place in the capital region. So overview of the capital region. Let's now dive in to some of our areas here. So we're going to take a look at Saratoga Springs first. So we're coming in here, August 2024. What do we see here with our blue line, which is our active listings, is going up again from 146 to 148. So jumped up a couple, not a ton. But as we're seeing right down here is our rate of new listings. We had 66 new listings in July. It did jump up to 74. So new listings came up in the month of August. We're seeing a trend here with the average sales price too. The average sales price for the month of August, it was almost $850,000 for the average sales price. So Saratoga is one of the highest price points in the capital region. So seeing numbers of this high is not a surprise for the Saratoga Springs area. We'll check out some of the other areas so you kind of get a price comparison, what their average sales price are compared to Saratoga. We're going to do that in a little bit. Hang on. And let's look at the median sales price was 620, and that's kind of dropped down to 6025. So it came down almost $20,000 as far as the median sales price is concerned. Absorption rate has gone up. They were at almost 4 months, 3.9 months a month ago, and now it's 3.99. So pretty much 4 months of inventory for the absorption rate. And Saratoga Springs, and the listed sold ratio for the second consecutive month has dropped in Saratoga, and it is now sitting at 98.2%. It peaked back in February at 104.1%, but right now it's on the second month of decline, so getting a little bit less than what they're listing for. Days on the market jumped up a little bit more to 23.6 days, so just over 3 weeks, pretty close to what our average is here in the capital region. And the price volume stayed even over here. Not much of a change at all in our price volume, about looking at 188 million for the price volume. Now let's come down here and see where are the biggest movers and shakers. So there was total 40 sales for the month of August, Saratoga. No surprise right here as we see this time in and time out because it's such a high price point, that $850,000 median price point there, or average price point. We see it's no surprise to see we got 28 sales over that 500,000. And it kind of, as you go down, that drops in the number. So there's not much under 500,000 that is being sold in Saratoga at this time, right now. All right. Next location. Let's go up here. Let's take a look at Clifton Park. We're going to head north here a little bit and see what's going on. We got a lot of action going on there. Let's take out some of these so we can kind of decipher this a little bit, because I mainly just look at the active and the new listings on this one here. So active listings took a steep drop in Clifton Park from 49 down to 32 from the month of July to August, but new listings did go up. So it went from 40 up to 44. So some new listings did come out for August. Looking over here at average sales price dropped for the second month in a row, down to 440, 448, we'll round that up. So almost 450,000. And the median sales price dropped as well at 432. And absorption rate dropped as well. They were looking at about a month and a half in July. August dropped down to just under a month. So there's supply is dropping as far as the absorption rate is showing us here. So the list to sold ratio is sitting right now at 104.8%, and that's creeping up. It was pretty high in Clifton Park compared to Saratoga and the area average as well. Days on the market has dropped down to 11 days, so about a week and a half as far as days on the market is concerned. And where are those houses selling at what price range? Total 61 sales for August. We're looking right now that 4 to 500 range seems to be the big area right here at 18. This 500 range is incorporating 18, but is a much larger range that it's counting than. But right here, it's got the 3 to 400 range beat out, and obviously we're looking down here. These are single digits. Even adding them up is not going to reach that 18. So we're talking the biggest area is 4 to 500,000 in Clifton Park. Let's check out the capital. We got Albany going on here. Again, we're going to take a couple of these out because it is just getting a little bit colder here. In fact, I'm actually going to take this one right here. Let's just look at active listings by itself for a second. As we see, it's in the second week on the incline. They got 89 active listings. Its peak was back here in November of last year with almost 120 out there. 119 is what it came in at. So is on the incline for the active listings. Let's come over here and check out the red listings, which this is our new listings. Again, second month in a row, new listings went up, not by much, 89 to 90, so really pretty consistently about the same, but just a touch that it went up. Over here, so we've got our average sales price is about 295, oh, sorry, 294,000. And we look at the medium sales price at 295,000. So they're almost exactly the same right here as far as the average sales price and medium sales price at 295 range. Absorption rate months up for the second month in a row. We're looking at 1.1 month for that one. List sold ratio after got a little spike here in July, coming back in June, but did kind of move up a little bit. 102.3% is what they're giving in Albany, and days on the market is just over 2 weeks at about 16 days for average days on the market. And our biggest sales. Well, right here, we got to put these together. We got 26 from that 200 to 300 range. So that's where the biggest price point is there, that 2 to 300 range for the Albany area. Let's come in here. Albany, we're going to take a look at Boston Spa right now. All right, so active listings took a hit right here. It was at 40, dropped down to 34. So not as many listings as we got in Boston Spa. New listings dropped for the fourth month. No, 1, 2, 3, third month in a row. Our new listings dropped down to 23. It was 25 the month before. Average sales price rebounded and it's back up. 483,000 is the average sales price. And right over here, the medium sales price is 425,000 for the average sales price, or the median sales price. Absorption rate dropped, pretty decent decline. It was at almost 2 months. Now it's about 1.6 months. List sold ratio is sitting at 102.1%. And the days on the market is up to 2 weeks as far as the average time on the market for properties. And where those properties selling, we had 20 sales in Boston Spa for the month of August. Right now, it's looking like that 300 to 400 range is where the majority of them took place. Again, where the 500,000 is spread out over a much larger range right here. So it's looking like that 300 to 400 range is where that hot spot is for the Boston Spa area. So coming in here, let's check out Queensbury. We got a couple more spots left that we're going to check out. So we've got active listings. Active listings, look at this. It's coming up. It hit a low in February. It's been coming up ever since then in Queensbury. It's up to 42 right now with new listings at 33. That's the second month in a row that we got an increase with new listings in there. Average sales price, these are going to be pretty close. Let's do this. Average sales price is 416,000. Our median sales price is 406,000 right there. So 416 is the average what we got there. And the absorption rate is stays even this time at just over about 2.25 months for the absorption rate. List to sold ratio is at 99.3, so just a touch below the 100%, closer to Saratoga's range. And days on the market is just over a week, so it's moving pretty fast in this area. So keep that in mind. You got to be ready to go with your pre-approval, all that stuff. Let's come down here and we're going to look like that 400 to 500 range has got 6 sales because that's going to be our hot market there for the Queensbury area. And let's move on to our last spot, which we're going to check out Glens Falls, which is a small area. Our numbers aren't usually really high in Glens Falls, but I think it's a very up and coming area and I like this spot a lot. So I do like to cover it. Again, a lot of people give me phone calls about Queensbury area because it's a pretty good price range in comparison to some of the other places and it's just really great. They got Glensport has a lot to offer. Um, Active listings, again, moving up. So we got, as far as our active listings, we're sitting at 21. New listings came down to 17. It was even the 2 months before that. It's coming over here. We're going to take this out. So we've got our average sales price is at 247,000 for that. And we'll look at our median sales price is going to be at 237. So again, much more affordable area, great spot, lot to offer. And let's look right here. So we've got this as far as the absorption rate is increasing. So it was 1, 2, 3, third month in a row. It's taking a pretty steep increase too. We're getting up close to almost 2 months. List sold ratio is sitting at 105%. So getting more than what they're listing it for. Days on the market, so just under 2 weeks at about 13 days is the average, and only 19 sales. But again, smaller area. The biggest hotspot right here is you can see that 200 to 300 range. They've got 10 total sales right here compared to 2 in the 3 to 400, and the 4 to 500 has only got 2 as well. So that's where the biggest movers and shakers are in Glens Falls. So that's the areas that we've got. Let me stop sharing this for a second. Okay. So those are the areas that we covered. So we kind of gone from the northern end down to the capital region and filled in some spots in between there, some of those bigger and pop areas. Again, if you have an area that you're interested in and you want to learn more about it, you want more information, reach out. My contact information is below. Subscribe to the channel. I'll do your own personal video, or even just jump on the phone. We could do a Zoom call and we just go over that area. We can pull up and I can show you what's going on with the market, what the listings are, the type of properties, what your price point can get you in those areas, answer any questions that you may have. So um, I'll see you on the next video here, but subscribe to the channel before you get out of here, and we will see you guys later.